Hello Indie Game fan, Happy New Year! Not much is releasing this week, so I've once again squished a surprise releases video into this one, which includes updates such as my time at Sandrock, the secret behind the mask, the latest content drop for this awesome early access live sim title that I talked about in my Best of the Rest recap of 2022, where it adds story missions, new dungeons, and a bunch of other stuff, so this game is getting even better in early access. One of the two quote-unquote new releases of the week that I didn't see coming is Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the game, Complete Edition, getting a Steam launch this week after launching on consoles and Windows in January 2021. Some sort of exclusivity must have expired, which is why it's coming out on Steam, which I know is where many of you prefer to play, so I thought that I'll give it a mention, where this is a fan favourite game to a cult classic movie, infamously known for being delisted off stores for more than 6 years, and has been touted as one of the best games in the genre, so if you're at all curious, I would recommend getting this just in case it gets removed once again. I do also want to give a special mention to KardBoard King's Card Game Island, the latest free update to this management sim. We're running a trading card shop, which, yes, is as awesome as it seems. As a kid, I loved frequenting shops like this and perhaps even scrounging up some pocket money to buy a booster pack or two, and always thought that running such an establishment would be great, but you do get a glimpse of that with this game. While the base game mainly focused on trading cards to run a profitable business, this expansion actually allows you to play the in-universe card game that seems to be inspired by Magic the Gathering and Yu-Gi-Oh!, as well as additional improvements and challenges added to the base management game. The Cotton series of shoot 'em ups goes way back to 1991, where the other new release of the week is a Steam port of the latest title from 2021 named Cotton Rock and Roll Superlative Night Dreams. According to Wikipedia, this series focuses on the titular red-haired witch named Cotton, who has an obsession with a candy named Willow, doing anything in her power to get her hands on some, with a loosely connected narrative from game to game, but it's about as much story as you would expect from a shoot 'em up. That is to say, it doesn't really matter and the action is where it's at. In addition to the regular projectiles and weapons that you can obtain, there are RPG mechanics like leveling up, as well as magical spells that you can use, where it does look kind of awesome and will be for fans of the genre. Developer Himimon Games seems to be very flexible in their development abilities, being able to make games in different genres, with their most recent release, Stranded Alien Dawn, being good so far in early access, with the Dunes and Moons update being the latest. It adds a new desert region to the game with new flora and fauna, as well as a new survivor which you can enlist, so that covers the Dunes part of the update. The moons part is more interesting, where prior to starting a new game, you can choose which moon will orbit around your planet, which confers both benefits and drawbacks, adding more options to the game, which is always good, but if you love a good survival management sim, this is one to check out. There just so happens to be a number of simulation titles on this list, one of which is Noble Fates, a medieval fantasy colony sim where you lead your own kingdom, having to fend off orcs and demons while maintaining the peace. The latest update is titled Adventures, where of course you can now go on adventures and expeditions, sending your units into faraway lands at the request of foreign kingdoms, which might yield valuable loot and improve diplomatic ties at the same time, along with updates to the building and tactical combat systems, making this even better. We did also have the 1.0 release of Potion Craft in December as well, where this is a supremely well-regarded alchemist simulator where you're gathering your own ingredients to brew potions for your customers. I love the medieval-inspired art style in this, where the core gameplay loop is compelling as you take on various requests from your customers and experiment to find new recipes, so do give it a go if it looks interesting. Hey, if you made it this far, subscribe to my weekly newsletter to keep on top of all things indie games, link in the description below. Another tremendously successful survival city builder is Timberborn, one where you're leading a tribe of industrious beavers in a post-human world, where the developers have been pretty blunt with these update titles, with the latest simply being Update 3. The devil is in the details here, since it won't mean much to you if you have not been playing this game, where there are improvements to warehousing and storage, the ability to reclaim some materials when you demolish a building, improvements to the automated beaver bots, as well as changes to migration and settlement of your beavers, but you just need to know that this is an excellent game in the genre and is worth picking up even in early access.
请千万不要相信那些看似熟悉的事物，无论它是多么真实。这些怪物会不惜一切代价，将你困在这梦魇之中。吃我一锤！
I just talked about Warm Snow in my previous video on the Best of the Rest recap of 2022, where this Chinese action roguelite was really impressive after it launched in January, but also got a free update titled The Ash of Nightmare.
我一起富甲一方吧。
这只是一场梦啊。
It is a hefty DLC package, made even more impressive since they released it for free, where this adds a new nightmare world to the game, with 5 bosses, 6 endings and more than 30 nightmare skills, essentially adding an endgame to this excellent roguelite, which makes it an even better package if you have not checked this out. Some of you might not know this, but the developer of this very impressive physics sandbox title was 100% acquired by the Embracer Group in August 2022, which makes them no longer indie, presumably so that their physics tech can be applied to other games, and yet Teardown continues to get new updates, the latest of which is Art Vandals, which adds a new mini-campaign with more missions and more content. You can watch this video for more excellent indies of 2022.